So we're going to do two things today. First day is skills day, and we're first going to do personal communication tools. Then we're going to do something that I hope Lodewijk will appreciate very much. We're going to do one of his tricks, which is collective communication tools, collective thinking tools, and we're going to do an example of that. So we're basically going to introduce you to the world of those two things. So on the personal communication tools, you're essentially thinking about tools for finding truths, right? We're here at Academia Liberis. Ment is interested in building up our own worldview and spreading our wings of our own minds. And well, there are a couple of tools for finding truths. One is classic science, right? The thing we think of. We often think of data, mathematics, science, measurement, experiments. You deduce, you induct, you formalize. I'll be doing quite a bit of that the coming months. But also, what is often a far better way of finding out someone is just to talk to people. Yes, you can sort of, measure and analyze all you want, but if you want to know where the toilet is, just ask someone else. Right? I wouldn't go measuring the building or analyzing it with x-rays. No. Just go and ask someone, where's the toilet? It's much quicker, and it's also a means of finding truth, something you actually want to know. Right? And that goes more broadly. Listen actively, debate honestly, switch perspectives so that you get to see the point of view of someone else. You listen emotionally, you feel the character, and we're going to do all of that at various points in these months. Cooperate, read reflectively, disbelieve, play and abstract, predict and check. We've already done some of that. So today we're going to do talking techniques, and there are many different talking techniques, as Anita will remember the 7 different types of conversations we can have. We won't get to those, but we will do introduction to talking techniques. And the first question, which we can answer communally, why do we talk to other people? What is talking for?
It's what we were talking yesterday in yesterday's lecture, basically yap to decide, sharing, negotiating, living in a community. Exactly. What's going on? Somebody has feelings for the sake of survival, basically.
Yeah, that's right. It's how we coordinate. It's also pleasurable in itself. We like the sound of other human voices. It makes us more calm. It's how we organize communities, how we figure out stuff individually and with each other. We also talk to ourselves, right? I don't know about you, but I frequently talk to myself either loudly or silently. It doesn't really matter. Now, how can we learn from others by talking? Again, a totally childish question, but still a handy one to think, right? Well, we can ask them a question, and if they like us, they might tell us the truth. Where's the toilet? Or they might not. Do you work for money or just for the pure pleasure of pleasing your boss? Well, that's the kind of question you don't expect an honest answer for. But, how can we learn from others by talking? Well, we ask them directed questions, but also we just chat, and then we see things in their faces. So a lot of talking is basically only a small part of the communication that happens between people. There's a lot of talking via the eyes, a lot of talking via body language.
And you forgot that you need to listen. You can talk, but if you don't listen, you don't learn anything.
Well, but we're getting to that. It's because the next topic is active listening. So thank you for preempting the next point. So we're going to do an active listening session, but I'm first going to talk about what that is, right? So an active listening session is something that's quite difficult for people. For some people, for others it's easier. But active listening is whereby you sort of force yourself to listen. Even if it's in a case that you don't actually have much interest, or you don't even like the person, it is still important to be able to actively listen to people and in that sense try and immerse yourself in their world. So active listening is of course a good thing between partnerships. It's very important to listen within a partnership. We're still learning that one, aren't we, Erica? But we've gotten much better at that over the decades, right? It took us a while. And so we're going to practice this, right? Because it's also an exercise in giving some people the floor, including people who are not used to taking the floor. We're sort of a bit introvert and actually like to have others do the talking, right? Active listening is also actively listening to an introvert and really allowing them to sort of get into the habit of talking and revealing, as it were, what they have to say. So we're going to do one-on-ones, and I'm going to divide you up in groups of 2. And so we've got 10 people, so I hope that Guido can join in with this as well, if that is at all possible once he set things up. But we're going to have 2 5-minute conversations. And so the idea is you sit opposite each other, and there are a couple of instructions. You got to look each other in the eye. Unbroken eye contacts for the 5 minutes. So you can't look away, because looking away is the first form of avoiding what someone else might have to say, right? Right? It's almost like deflecting, right? So I'm not looking at you, you're not reaching me. And you got to do something else if you're the listener. You got to actively nod and smile. Actively nod and smile. Keeping eye contact, right? Be as genuine as you can be, but even if you're faking it, well, make it a good fake, right? Keep it up. Keep it up for 5 minutes. So to encouragingly nod and sort of smile a little bit, or at least be truly encouraging with your eyes and your face, right? Because that encourages the other to keep talking, and the other feels validated. And so the other will then say more about what is on their mind, or free flow association.